Let's watch the rest. It's like 5 minutes. We'll miss 5 minutes.
To get
Unless you
started,
want to do it now.
I want to see what the benefits are. See,
if you guys can just mute, everyone mute your lines, it would be awesome. Thank you. To get started, I need to record. Sorry. So let me just go back and record that. All right, here we go. Share back again. If you guys, again, have questions, please feel free to comment in the chat. And if you've been using CBD or our product, please feel free to share it with what's been happening as I'm going, okay? So here we go, you guys. So what is CBD? Many people, and I'm somebody myself, who prior to this company, to be honest, prior to knowing what CBD was, I was very uneducated on it. I really just was very skeptical. I was somebody who I've never touched a marijuana drug in my life. And I was somebody who thought like, oh, CBD is part of that. Like, I'm not having anything to do with it. It's just not for me. No judgment on anyone who did, but it just wasn't for me until I dove in, until I did the research, and until I started to educate myself more. And that is what I'm hoping tonight you guys get out of this, is pure education and understanding on how beneficial this can be. So CBD is one of, sorry guys, Sarah, are you seeing really quick? Are you seeing the waiting room?
I am.
Okay, perfect.
Yep, I'm letting people in and muting people.
Perfect. Much. Okay. So cannabinoid is over 100 different cannabinoids that are found in the cannabis plant. Okay. So there's so many different factors. CBD is just one of them. Most of us are really familiar with CBD, the word CBD, or the acronym, and the acronym THC, right? And the THC is that getting high aspect of it. According to the World Health Organization, in humans, CBD exhibits no effect indicative of any abuse or dependence or anything like that. This is strictly stated from the World Health Organization. Some people think if I take CBD, I'm going to get high, right? They think I'm going to be addicted to it like you could with THC or marijuana products, and that's not the case, okay? Now, diving a little deeper, there is something with CBD and with the plant as a whole called the Entourage Effect. And this is something that as you start to hear this more and as you start to understand, there are isolate products of this plant. Okay. This plant, like I said before, it has over 100 different cannabinoids, actually even more than that, on one single plant. That's why it is absolutely an incredible God-given gift, because there are so many different factors to it. But one of the most interesting things that were learned while investigating the benefits of whole flower CBD, okay, meaning like the whole plant, is that there is that entourage effect, which means all of the pieces with THC, with the different cannabinoids all together. And as you can read there, over 480 natural components come throughout the entire plant. And that also helps to balance out all of these different receptors in our body, which I'm going to share with you in a little bit. Okay. So if you have, I just want to know in the comments, have you ever heard of something called the Entourage Effect? Have you ever heard of this before? This was something I had no idea about. I really had many people go and look for a CBD product without THC. Okay. Many people look for that, but you're really not getting the full benefits of the entire plant without that THC as the entourage effect, okay? And I'm gonna show you this a little more scientifically here. So a small amount of THC is needed in order to activate the CBD, okay? THC and CBD work together to produce that entourage effect. The entourage effect results when all the ingredients of the cannabis plant come together and interact with our bodies, making it a larger impact. So when I dive into the endocannabinoid systems in our body, you're going to understand, wow, when I get the whole plant, there are all these different factors that the plant can help out, rather than just having one single isolate part of the flower. Okay. And many companies out there do have isolate products. Okay. Which is great. There's some phenomenal isolate products out there. However, if that isolate is not for that exact receptor in the body, it's not going to work. Okay. And I'm going to share a little bit more with that. So we have something in our bodies called the endocannabinoid system, you guys. This is called the ECS. In 1992. Okay. So now you can, okay. So my math was wrong. 1992 to 2022, right? I don't even know. I can't do math. Forget it. I'm not even going to try. Just, it's been around for a while. Okay. The Hebrew, that's easy math too. The Hebrew University in Jerusalem. Okay. along with a researcher, Dr. William Devane, discovered the endocannabinoid system in 1992. Then from that point on, research has dove in deep, and there's clinical studies, there's data done on the endocannabinoid system, on this beautiful system that's already naturally in the body, and then on the cannabis plant and what the natural effects in the body and what this plant have in common, okay? And what it can factor out and do. The endocannabinoid system helps to regulate our mood, our sleep, our everyday well-being, and a host of so many other things, which you're going to see on the next slide. Understanding ECS helps us to understand what the cannabis plant can do, okay? So I want you to look at these images here, okay? How CBD works in the human body, all right? So if you guys can mute your lines, you guys, thank you, is if you look at the image looking at the screen, I believe it's the left, it's my left, you can see that there's different receptors in the body, okay? So it's showing you that CBD can help with anxiety, it can help with neuro protection, it can help with inflammation issues, pain, bone, all of these different things, okay? If you go over on the other side to your actual endocannabinoid system in your body, I want you to remember we have an immune system, we have a reproductive system, digestive system, all of these different systems throughout our body. Many things help to regulate those out, okay? But the master regulator of our whole body, what they're finding is our endocannabinoid system, which is really incredible. But if you look at it, you understand why. You have your central nervous system, you have the immune system, you have the gastric system, metabolism, all of these things that are basically under the umbrella of the endocannabinoid system. And these different receptors, if you go and look here, see where it says CBD1 and CBD2? When you go and look up at the brain, look at how many CBD1 receptors are in the brain. You guys, when you have that part of the cannabis plant that activates that receptor in the brain, look at how much of that happens. A ton of the endocannabinoid system is made up with our neuropathology. Okay, so a lot of it's there. But as you can see, as you go down, the CBD2 receptors help with different parts of the body. I mean, look at it, is the entire body. It's incredible. So I want you now to understand there's so many different CBDs out there, right? That you guys have probably heard of tons of different ones. You've probably seen them out on the shelves they're in gas stations now, you guys. Obviously, ever since it was made legal in almost every state, made legal to carry CBD or sell CBD, more and more and more research has come out, okay? Tons of it. But I want you to understand there are going to be CBDs out there that are going to give you bottom of the barrel products. So I want you to think about a hemp plant that's factory hemp, so synthetically made, or a plant that is grown in hemp factories, they're synthetically grown, you guys. So they're not grown like out in I'm thinking of for some reason, chickens are coming in my head, pasture raised, out on the fields, in the direct sunlight, in vitamin D, all of that good stuff. If you're paying bottom of the barrel, I just want you to know you're probably getting bottom of the barrel hemp or cannabis, and you're not getting the whole plant, okay? So with that being said, you're going to have CBDs out there that have CBD oils. Many that you find, probably 95% of them out there are a CBD oil. There's phenomenal carrier oils. I always tell that to people. There are phenomenal carrier oils out there, but oil is still fat and your body has to break that down and then hope that you get some of that cannabis or some of that CBD plant into the body and helping it to absorb and be used, okay? However, you're about a 6 to 9% absorption rate with an oil-based product, okay? Over here, what we have our hands on is a fluid. It is a whole flower fluid, which means there is no oil or additives or fillers at all. It is completely water compatible, which means that when it comes into the body, it is instantly absorbed at a 60 to 90% absorption rate in the body, which we give you that large range, you guys, okay? Because everyone's body is different, everyone's body type, everybody's receptor, depending on what people need in their receptors, everything's a little different, okay? But remember, you're going from a 6 to 9% absorption rate with 2 full dropper fulls to a 60 to 90% absorption rate with 2 tiny little drops, which I'm going to show you in a second. Okay. So unlike other CBD products on the market, our product specifically has a unique process that sets it apart from others. Many companies out there will extract by using heat, chemicals, CO2, but similar to a cold press, our whole flower fluid extraction preserves the full medicinal benefits of the entire plant. Okay, you guys. So I always say this, you fresh squeeze oranges to orange juice and you're going to get that full fresh orange juice. You're not getting, and you need to check, just like you do in all of your products, are you getting the added sugar, added things in there with that fresh squeezed orange juice, right? Or are you getting just the fresh squeezed orange juice? And that is what you're getting here. You are getting the straight fluid, straight plant to bottle, okay? They call it a Humpty Dumpty when they're extracting and then they're adding in all of these things and they're pulling from one part of the plant and pulling from the other, because again, all together, you're not getting that full entourage effect and all the medicinal benefits. You simply get the full benefits with what we have our hands on. And because of this process, you're getting more whole flower hemp per serving, meaning it's more cost effective too. Because in our bottle, which is right here, you get about 100 drops. And most people only need about 2 drops to feel the full effects. Whereas again, when you're having the oil base and you're getting very little of the actual plant, you're needing a lot more to actually get the effects. And then in turn, you're just using a lot more and spending a lot more. Okay. So I wanted to give you some data and some research that has been done specifically on CBD ever since this is now released ever since it was legalized. Okay. So according to Harvard Health, CBD has been touted for a wide variety of health issues, okay, which you're going to hear tonight. But the strongest scientific evidence is the effectiveness of epilepsy and the syndromes, which is really incredible. Really, really incredible when you think again of all of the neurology things that go into the endocannabinoid system, which you saw on the other slide. Okay. So one of the studies done were that these 2 specific seizures do not respond to anti-seizure medication. So there's some out there that, you can take an anti-seizure and usually you're okay. But in numerous studies, CBD was able to reduce the number of seizures and in some cases stop them altogether. So this is actually a product that is out. It's a prescription that contains CBD. And it is FDA approved. Okay. I'm just showing you some additional facts and research out there. Also, there have been animal studies done that show and suggest that CBD can help with anxiety, insomnia, chronic pain, inflammation, arthritis, and even addiction. And all of those things we're going to share with you today. So lastly, to close up on the education piece here, I wanted to show you a clinical study that was done. This was actually in pediatric care facilities. As you can see, if you've never read scientific or clinical study data, what they do is they give the product on one side. They tell you where it was at, and then they tell you what the study was designed for, how many patients, and the age. Okay. Now this was done pediatrics. And again, it ranges. There's some 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds in here, 14-year-olds. And then the duration. Okay. The duration is really important to see too. So I just want you to look at the first line. There was 137 patients and they did it for 3 months using CBD product. Okay. This is not our product, by the way. I'm just sharing with you just clinical studies that's done out there. They use CBD. And as you can see, out of 137 of them, 37% reported improvements in 3 months. But then you go down and you look at the next row there, which is 7 patients, 12 months. They use them for 12 months time. And they had an 86% improvement rate. And this was all, again, done for neurology, so with seizures and for that aspect, okay? So 3 types of whole flower fluid that we have here. We have our whole flower hemp CBD, which is just what you saw here. And I always like to show this, you guys. A drop is literally that tiny of a drop that will get you so many medicinal benefits, okay? So when I say a drop, that is truly what I mean. And most people need I usually say 2 to 3 drops, but 2 drops. And then we have a spray, which the spray does have mint and cinnamon added in, okay? However, the spray has been really, really effective for people. One, if you can't handle a very strong plant taste, because again, remember, you're getting all of the plant in there and it is strong. And for younger kids, a lot of kids have used our spray to be able to help with different ailments that they may be dealing with at their time. And it's very hard for them to handle the taste of this. Also, we have a muscle rub that has our whole flower fluid in there and has 8 different botanicals, which is really incredible because when it's put on the skin, it is an instant relief because of the natural botanicals mixing with that whole flower fluid to give the muscles the relief that it needs. Okay. So this is just one testimony of acne, and then we're going to get into listening to a couple people's really phenomenal stories, okay? So I just wanted to show you this because something people don't understand is that CBD can actually be used topical too, which is really incredible. So you can topically put it on the skin. We've had people for warts even put it on a wart and it's been gone. So as you can see here, these are just 3 stories of people who within a very short time frame were using the CBD and with putting it on topically to relieve acne, okay? We have a lot of stories of this. I just pulled 3 of them, but there's a lot of that. All right, so here we go. We are gonna dive in now. I am going to stop my screen share and I am going to call to the screen. I'm gonna pull their faces up. They're gonna talk and I'm gonna have them unmute. But the very first one, I have to see if she's on. Carol has a phenomenal story about epilepsy, which is what I had showed you some of those results. And so I want Carol to share her story. And I told them all to try and keep it to 3 minutes, okay? So Carol, can you unmute yourself?
Yes.
Hi, Carol.
Hello.
Hi, okay, go ahead and you can share and I'm gonna try and find you. Okay, there you are. Go ahead, Carol.
Okay, I'm going to try to do this real quick because this is all about my daughter. And I'm a talker. So she's over 30. So I can honestly say for 30 years, I know she's been epileptic. She was diagnosed at the age of 2. It started out with the petit mal seizures where she just did the staring. And my mom caught it real quick because I had the same thing. Luckily, I outgrew it. So fast forward to Lisa. She was diagnosed with epilepsy. So she, at a very young age, started on medication. All the medication her whole life tore up her liver. It was always bad for her, any medication for her epilepsy. So we went through this. We went through the struggles of, she never knew when the seizures would come on. Some people are blessed in that aspect, not that seizures are a blessing, but at least they can sit down. My daughter never knew that. She has fallen through glass. She's busted so many parts of her body. Her tongue bleeding, can't eat for a week. She's been life flighted. I can't tell you how many times we've called 911. You have a child old enough, you're still scared to leave her, but you have to because she's grown. So anyway, we were on many different medications, hoping to stop the seizures. Okay, nothing ever did. No medicine that was prescribed ever stopped them. Yes, they slowed them down. She didn't have them every day, but she still had them. We knew trigger points with my daughter. We knew that pain could put her in a seizure. We knew lack of sleep could put her in a seizure. We knew that, oh my gosh, here we go with anxiety or stress. And let me tell you what, she has 5 boys. You think her life is not stressed? I'm blessed with 5 grandsons, but at the same point, it was really bad on her. I have had my grandkids call me and say, Mom, I had a seizure. I've been scared my whole life because of my daughter. I live in Texas, and in Texas, they finally legalized CBD. And my mom was still alive then, and me and her both looked into it, and she was the one because, like Lauren had said earlier too, how she wasn't into marijuana. I was totally against it. I served in the military, so that was a no-no anyway. So I wasn't real open to CBD at first, but when it got legalized and my mom said, please, Carol, this is great for epilepsy. Okay, I started investing in it. I tried many different CBD oils. They didn't work. Nothing worked. She still had the seizures. I tried it for little things I had and it didn't work. But So my friend joined this wonderful business, and she knew my daughter had epilepsy, and she reached out to me. And I kind of went, been there, done that, got that t-shirt. And I wasted a lot of money, y'all, on CBD oil, hoping that I had found the solution that everybody said was great. Well, everything wasn't great until I did find this great product here with this company. And I can honestly say that my daughter, as of August this year, which was a couple months ago, is 1 year for the first time in her entire life, seizure-free, y'all. And that makes me so happy. I could go on with stories, but Lauren told me 3 minutes.
Oh, Carol, I could listen to you all night. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. And Carol's story, it is. I mean, for her to summarize that in 3 minutes, let me tell you, because her and I talked for about 45 on a live one. So thank you, Carol. Thank you so much for being honest and open and sharing your story. We really appreciate it. Okay, so we're gonna move on next to Angela. And Angela, if you could,
I'm here.
Okay, unmute yourself, and then I will find you.
I'm
All
here.
right, go ahead. You may go and share your story, please.
And oh my gosh, Carol, I have watched your countenance just absolutely transform on these products. Like, I feel like you look 20 years younger. It's amazing. Just seriously. And I had people say that to me. I'm 51, and I had somebody thought I was like 35 the other day, and I'm like, yeah, it's my products. Anyway, so I love sharing this story because truly 2 years ago, I was a grandmother of 1. I had 3 grandkids on the way. I was in chronic back pain. I really didn't feel like I had much of a life. I was really depressed. I wasn't sleeping. The pain was like at a level 10, 24/7. And I am and you can ask Lauren, like I'm a clean girl. But when you had the pain I had, and acupuncture and acupressure and chiropractic and all the things weren't working, and CBD oil, I finally got on narcotics and muscle relaxers and shots in my back and burning my nerves just like to have some sort of life. And when you're 49 and you feel like you're 60 and you were used to feeling 30, And so my friend Veronica called and she said, Angela, I think maybe I have something that's going to help you. And so I got that 1 little bottle and 2 drops morning and night. And in 1 week, my pain went from like a 10 to a 4, and I was sleeping like a baby. And I think I say this like not now I wouldn't, but then I was like, oh my gosh, I have my life back. Like, this is good enough for me, right? But when that bottle was gone, I usually have it sitting here, but when that bottle was gone, guys, I couldn't find the pain. You know how like you go to the doctor or chiropractor and you kind of get adjusted or whatever, and then you're trying to see if you can still find that pain. Y'all, I couldn't find the pain. I just could not find the pain. And in my knees and my toes, I had arthritis. It was gone. My knees, I had a torn meniscus that I couldn't find any pain in anymore, to the point that today I ran my best time in a 5K, 11-minute miles. And 2 years ago, I couldn't run. So
that's amazing.
Anyway, I just want to say this product has absolutely transformed my life, and it's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I love it. Thank you. You guys have to understand, like, all of these women who are going to come on here tonight are all talkers. So they're really trying really hard to keep within their quick time. But thank you so much, Angela. Thank you for sharing. All right. Our next guest that we're going to bring on is Bree. And I need to find her again. She was up there.
Hello.
Every one of these guests are going to look really, really just all put together. And so, all right, go ahead, Bree.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, so mine is actually pretty sweet and short. So I'm someone who has always suffered with sleep issues. And I will say most of the time, it's not really hard for me to get to sleep, but staying asleep. So like Lauren and most of the people you've heard from tonight, like I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm type A, and so my brain doesn't shut off. It just, but when I do kind of if I'm really tired, I get down and I'll get to sleep. But if I wake up in the middle of the night, and I'm talking 1 a.m., I'm up. Like that's just it. And there is no matter how bad I want to go back to sleep, there's just nothing to it. And I'm talking up until the next day. I've got 2 little kids. I don't have time for that, right? But I will tell you, I know for a fact I keep 2 of the sprays next to my bed because I'm never even gonna try to run out of it. But if I spray before I go to bed, I will sleep calmly through the entire night, which I mean, till about 6:30 in the morning, like that's huge for me. But the other thing is if there's a night where I just am like tired and I go to bed without it, if I wake up in the middle of the night, I know literally 100% of the time, I reach for my spray. I do 2 sprays each cheek. I lay, I rest, and then I will get back to sleep. When I say this has never, ever happened in my life, this has never, ever, ever happened in my life. So I'm grateful I get to sleep these days, even with all the crazy going on in the brain and 2 little boys running around. So
I love it. And it's so true because, you know, Angela, when you were saying how young everyone looks, that's because we sleep again. So that's exactly why. All right, you guys. Next up, I'm going to bring on, thank you, Bree, so much. I'm going to bring on Jody. So Jody, if you could just unmute your mic so I can find you. Jody.
Hello, hello.
Oh, there she is. Okay, go ahead, Joan.
All right, guys. Well, I am here to tell a little bit about my story with anxiety. So I was a person who never had anxiety my entire life until I had my kids. And then I just started out of nowhere having anxiety that it was crazy. I just couldn't believe that these things were happening to me that had never before occurred in my entire life. And panic attacks started coming with that too. I remember the first time I had a panic attack, I was in my bathroom and I was blow drying my hair and I was home by myself. And I just started feeling things coming on that I had never expressed or had before. And I was so scared because I was home by myself and I didn't know what to do. And I was about ready to like run out of my house into the street and start like yelling for help because I seriously thought that I was going to die. And it would happen in the car. When I was driving, I would have to pull over. And, you know, when you have little kids, you don't want to be in that position where you feel like you're out of control and having your kids see you that way. So that was just really difficult. I was medicated, for quite a while, but then I was just tired of feeling like numb. I was tired of just feeling the side effects from medication. And I decided I was going to go off it and try different CBD oils. Like others have said here, I tried them. None of them worked. None of them took away those racing thoughts, those heart palpitations, those, you know, just random things that would happen to me. But then fast forward a little bit, January of 2020, I got a really scary diagnosis. So already had lots of this anxiety stuff occurring already. And then I had a tremor in my right hand for a while, over a year, and I was just trying to ignore it. I was hoping that it was nothing. Ended up going to see a neurologist, come to find out that I have Parkinson's disease. Went through a really hard, awful year, just grieving that, just trying to like cope with like, what does this mean for my life? What does this mean for my future? So with all that, the anxiety was heightened. I was having a lot of difficulty sleeping, trying to get rid of those racing thoughts, just trying to be present with my family and just focused on the here and now was really challenging. So this product absolutely came into my life, and from the moment that I tried it, it has been an absolute blessing for me. Sorry.
I love you, Joan.
No, like I can be calm and present, and I don't have that. It's not like getting in my way anymore. It's not getting in the way of my life and me living the way I want to be right now. And it's opened my eyes to like be able to share this with others so that other people can, you know, have this too. So I feel absolutely blessed.
Thank you so much, Jody. You're so brave for sharing that because I know it's not easy to always continue to remind yourself that too.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Guys,
and I just want to say, sorry, like with my symptoms too, like if I'm calmer, my physical symptoms, like the stiffness in my arm, you know, the feelings that I feel with this disease, like they feel better when I'm calmer. So like, if I can have that and just feel more like normal, like myself, I'll take that any day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Jody. And you guys, this is exactly why we do this. This is exactly why we educate and why we share, because just like Jody just said, if she wouldn't have seen it, if somebody wouldn't have shared it, all of these stories, you guys, every one of us are connected in one way or another because somebody shared with somebody else. Okay. And truly, mostly with social media. That is what's the beauty here. Okay. So I'm going to bring on Liz. We have 3 more, so stick with us because they're phenomenal. So you need to hear these. Okay. I'm going to bring on Liz and she's going to share her story. Go ahead, Liz.
Hi.
Okay. There you go.
Hey everyone. So I am sharing a story about migraines, and again, I'm going to keep it short because Lauren asked us to keep it short. So I've had migraines as a kid. They thought they were hormonal. I was put on birth control. They kind of went away, grew out of them, whatever you want to call it. In college, I can remember like 1 or 2, specifically in grad school. I was going for my doctorate, lots of stress. Ironically enough, my background is all in neurologic physical therapy. So I had my 3rd child, my son, and about 6 months after having him, I had this ridiculous exacerbation of symptoms where I was having like tingling in my face and my arm felt funny. And I basically, in my head, was terrified that I was having a stroke. And when I was able to kind of rule that out, I actually ended up driving myself to the immediate care that day. They ruled that out and said, you just have migraines. And I was like, okay, I haven't had this in a while. It'll be a one-time thing. It'll go away. Well, unbeknownst to me, they started to become regular. So that happened in April of 2018. My next one happened in June. And then after that, it was August. And from August on, it became monthly. And they gradually increased in frequency and intensity and just the debilitation of them, to the point that anytime I would get a migraine, I was out. I could not participate with my kids. I could not participate with my family. I went back and counted before tonight. I was on over 10 different pharmaceuticals at various points of the journey, trying to find something to stop the migraine. My specific type of migraine was called hemiplegic migraines. And so it is every single time I would get a headache, I would have symptoms as if I was having a stroke. And so differentiating stroke from migraine is not a lot of fun, let me tell you. And then on top of that, because of my age, I was also being watched and monitored for multiple sclerosis, because anyone on here that's ever had a migraine or knows anyone with migraines knows it's a differential diagnosis. You don't get told you have migraines until they've ruled everything else out. And so a lot of stress comes with that, just like, is it this or is it that? Like, what is it that I'm experiencing? And so I ended up getting to the point where I was injecting myself every single month just to reduce my migraine days from like 20-ish to maybe less than 15. But I mean, there's only 30 to 31 days in a month, guys. So that's just not a way to live, to be honest. And I had learned to function. I worked full time at that time, 3 kids. I'm a wife. So all of that. Unfortunately, last summer, we found out that the injection I was giving myself was breaking down my muscles. And so I was having abnormal lab results. And my neurologist basically was like, you have to come off these injections. And at that point, that had been the only thing that had given me any kind of relief. It wasn't stopping them, but at least I was getting some kind of relief. And so that was a terrifying thing. And she had told me at that point that I needed to get my medical card. And that was kind of the last resort. She didn't have any other options for me because of all the things I had already tried. And so I had been 100% against CBD products, even though I knew all the research. I talked to my patients about them all the time, but it just wasn't something I wanted to do. I didn't want that feeling. I was terrified of the THC until I had better educated myself. And that's what I love that Lauren has already done for all of you tonight. And so ironically enough, I tried the oils, they don't work. I tried 3 different of them. They don't do anything. So when Lauren reaches out to me that she's got a CBD product, I was 100% skeptical. No way is this going to do anything for me. The Saturday after Thanksgiving of 2020, it was last year. Yeah. The Saturday after Thanksgiving of 2020, I'm out with my daughter. I have a full day planned with her. I had missed enough days at this point, and I feel one coming on. And the only thing I have in my bag is a sample that Lauren had sent me. And I was like, well, I got nothing to lose. And I took it out and I took 2 drops. And in 30 minutes, every single one of my symptoms was gone. And it was the first time in over 2 years that I had been able to stop a migraine. And when I get my migraines, I get them multiple days. So then the next day it started, I took 2 drops, it stopped it. The third day it started, I took 2 drops, I stopped it. I then bought a bottle and then joined the company. And from there, it has grown exponentially. But it got to a point that when I started taking this product on a regular basis, I can go over 100 days without even a symptom of a migraine. And I can stop every single one of them with 2 drops of this product. And so I share because I know that there are thousands and millions of people out there suffering with all different kinds of migraines. And there is something out there that can help.
Oh my gosh, so amazing, Liz. I always love hearing her story, also because I sent her the sample, of course. Like, but again, you guys, another reason, if you're listening to all of these in detail, you can see every one of these stories is about quality of life. Every one of these stories has improved somebody's quality of life because somebody had a heart to share. You know, that's incredible. So we have 2 more. I'm going to pull Jamie onto the screen, and Jamie's going to share her story. And then we have 1 more story after that, and you will be blown away by both. Okay, where's Jamie? Jamie, just unmute and then I'll find you.
I'm here.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So I've suffered my whole entire life with debilitating anxiety and depression. I was on meds for 24 years. I was started on meds when I was fairly young. I did counseling, I did all those sorts of things. But to make a long story short, since we're trying to be quick, I started seeing a psychiatrist, and he had me on very high doses. I kind of kept saying, oh, I don't think I need it anymore, you know, but he kept upping and upping the doses. Something just didn't feel right. So I ended up transferring my script to my regular primary care doctor. And he had the nurse call me to verify. And when I walked in his office, he had me come in the next day. He actually looked at me and said, "How are you functioning?" And I said, "I don't know." That wasn't something I was expecting to hear from him. So over the course of the thing is I was taking all of these medications, but I wasn't able to even stay awake the entire day. A lot of that was from the depression. I was still having the anxiety attacks. I mean, the panic attacks, I was still having them despite being on all this medication. So I actually came over here, and it's funny, I came over here for the opportunity. I did not have this product experience before that. And it's funny because people started noticing. So I added this. This is one thing that I take 3 different products, are my holy grails that I can't do without, but this is one of them. This is the Soothe spray. For me, I'm not a big fan of the drops. It's strong, and these are flavored, and it's really easy. I have one in my purse. I have one next to my bedside. I have them everywhere. So for me, 4 sprays of this can take me from all the way up in the middle of, like, my heart starts racing. I get all those physical symptoms as well. Shaking uncontrollably. I mean, they're really, really bad. And this can just take me right back down to a normal level. Doesn't make me fall asleep or anything like that. So I started taking this. I also added the Enrich. I know we're not talking about those, but I feel like the gut plays a huge role as far as your mood and anxiety and depression. I started taking that. And then I also do Drink the Mojo for energy. I don't take naps anymore. I'm like a reformed napper, which is a miracle for me. So once I started these products, I've been on them a year now. I started feeling really good, like pretty quickly. And so I had said to my doctor, I'd already weaned back enough over the course of the last 4 years to a level I thought was, that we thought was okay, but I was feeling so great. And so I started working with him. And since then, just in the past year, I've gotten completely off of my Xanax, which I was on for 24 years, my Trazodone, which I was on for 24 years. I was on enough meds to kill a small horse, like to tranquilize a small horse. I'm not kidding. So I'm off of those, and I'm working on my 3rd. I'm on a quarter of a dose right now. And those are all of my anxiety and depression meds. And it's crazy because now I feel so much better. And this week has been very stressful. I've had a lot of things going on. And it's so funny because I remember when I was going to send my doctor that last message about, okay, I'm completely off of my Xanax. It was this feeling that came over me. And I'm like, because that was my, it was like, I'd been on it so long and I was so used to it. And I remember when I was sending that message, I'm like, I need to spray. I mean, I was totally kidding, but it was just so funny because I had been on it so long, and it's just, being without it, but this literally now saves me anywhere and everywhere. I mean, I feel great. I don't take naps anymore. I'm so much happier. So
Gosh, that's incredible. And you look phenomenal. Honestly, you guys, I'm telling you, like I could sit here and listen and keep listening to all these stories because it is just amazing what can happen. And to know after 24 years that you were able to do that. And again, remember what she was saying too, you guys, like she didn't feel like herself with all those meds. Like, yes, maybe some of the symptoms of what she was dealing with was, but the rest did not feel right. Now, on top of combating that and also feeling good, again, it's quality of life. So thank you so much for sharing, Jamie. All right, let me find our last one is Katie, and she's going to share with you actually about her son and his, what he had been going through. So hold on, let me find Katie. Okay, Katie, here you are. All right, so Katie's going to close us out with her story, and I'm going to just end with one thing, and then we'll let you go. All right, Katie.
All right, so I'm going to try to keep it really quick, but I am a talker. So my son is 13. He was diagnosed with idiopathic juvenile arthritis at the age of 22 months. And when I say that he has been on like narcotic pain medication, for the majority of his life since 22 months, serious narcotic pain medication round the clock. We would wake up in the morning and we would have to do exercises for him to be able to stretch his legs, to be able to stand. The winter months, we'd have to start the morning routine an hour and a half to 2 hours early for the meds to kick in, for him to be able to handle his weight, to be able to walk. He's never been able to really play sports. His joints have always had lots of swelling, and he's always been in really like good spirits about it. But this past like 18 months, before we found these products, which I was super resistant to, and I'll tell you that in a second, we had gotten to the point where like when we were filling his script, the pharmacy was calling the doctor to like double check that the script was accurate, because it was like 3 times the normal dose for a kid his age, because he wasn't getting any type of relief. And my friend Melanie was like, you need to try this CBD product. And I had tried CBD for myself and CBD for my son, oils, and I had found one that had done like a little bit of help. And by a little bit of help, I mean, we were doing like 4 droppers and like getting tiny bit of relief. So I just really wasn't interested. I wanted nothing with THC in it at all. I was just wholly uneducated and afraid. I'd never done drugs. I've never been like somebody who did marijuana. It was just not something that I wanted. And the idea of even giving it to my kid was like, you've lost your mind. And so when she like pushed, and she did push, I mean, she pushed, I bought the sample because I was not buying a full bottle, because I'm just not going to do this. And I did it first on myself. And within like 10, 15 minutes, I had so much relief. I was like, whoa, I'm going to look at this again. I did, however, bring it up to my kid's doctor first before I tried it on him, because he was already on so much. And they said, well, it won't hurt him, but it's probably not going to help him either. And I said, okay. So we tried the sample, and within 25 minutes, my kid was pain-free for the first time in his collective life. He had no memory of ever not being in pain, even on meds. And so I did start like giving him 4 drops in the morning and 4 at night to try to kickstart it, because he was wearing off in the middle of the day. And then we went to 3 and then to 2. And now we do 2 in the morning and 2 at night. And he has been on this product routinely since January 15th. And we've had breakthrough, like where he's been in pain, but that was when he was sick. And we just gave him an extra dose of the CBD, and it resolved it. But I have not filled a pain script for him in 7 months.
Wow.
and his rheumatologist doesn't know what to make of it. His inflammation markers are down. His joints look great. They're not swollen. He's jumped 6.5 inches. And I mean 6.5 inches. He had stunted growth before that. He is phenomenal. And he'll be the first person to tell you it tastes awful. He'll be like, this is disgusting. But he asks for it and he tells people about it. We'll be at the rheumatologist. He's like, do you know what helped me? It was the stupid drop that my mom makes me take. But to watch him feel more confident and comfortable in himself and to not be in pain and to like talk about, you know, trying out for sports or to be able to just be comfortable in his skin and not feel like, why does this happen to me, is amazing. And I can tell you right now, we will never, ever be without this product in our home. And he'd be the first person to tell you. It's just phenomenal what it's done for him.
Thank you so much, Katie. Thank you for sharing. You guys, her story, I mean, Katie's got a whole other, she could be on here for about an hour to share her story. But you guys, again, as a mom, hearing that, I'm sure any mom, grandma, anything, knowing again that you could help naturally to your child or grandson or whatever it may be, live a better quality of life. And again, her son, he's 13 now, but knowing that he wants it because he knows it's helping, right? Like, and again, I'm going to close out with just saying, all of these people, all of them were shared this product. When Katie said that Melanie pushed it, like she was like, you need this in your hands. And not to be a salesy person, okay? Understand that. We are not on here to try and be salesy to you. We are on here to try and explain to you that you could have a better quality of life with what we have our hands on. And it would be selfish of us not to share that with you. Okay. And so that is why she pushed, and because she knew this was going to help, and she didn't know to what extreme, let me tell you. And it is incredible every time I hear these stories, and every single one, you can see how our ECI, our endocannabinoid system, all of those things were different. And it is absolutely incredible what one product could do for so many different people, ages, age ranges, everything, right? So remember that when you are, whoever brought you onto this live tonight or this Zoom tonight, whoever brought you on here, go back, reach out to them. If you want more information, I mean, I feel like we gave you all of it, but if you need more, you go back, you ask them. And if you are somebody who's on here and you are like, you know what? They are sharing and they're part of an opportunity and they're part of a business now that's sharing to help other people, then get with also the person who put you on here and ask more questions about the opportunity side. Because let me tell you, what we have our hands on is one small piece of our gigantic puzzle of goodness. Okay. So I really appreciate you guys all being on here tonight. I thank you for your time. And I saw there was a lot of, I think people answered questions. So I hope you got all your answers, but I really appreciate everyone being on here. And please tell me we can have access to this recording. Yes, I have it recorded. Okay. Once it uploads to the cloud, I will take care of the rest. All right. Thank you guys. Happy Wednesday night. And we will talk to you soon. Bye guys.